life immediately. He had his likes, dislikes, hobbies, served his country. After meeting, courting, and marrying Mom, he wasted no time in starting a family. Those memories of when he was just John and Mom's alone. I wonder when she looked at him all these years later, she saw the young man, set her heart flutter. Dad worked 2 jobs to support the growing family, and while I'm sure he did, I never heard him complain about it. But he always made time for his family. He did what any good man does. He did what needs to be done to support the family and instill discipline in the children. He and Mom provided us a terrific childhood with terrific location, giving us the freedom to explore our world while keeping one eye on us to make sure we came home every day. There are many fond memories of fishing with Dad. Once going deep sea fishing, and the best part of it was the drive there where we talked about life. He was full of quiet wisdom. Members of the family going from Mountain Park and Eastern Park, ran into the station wagon, and the vacation drive to Nova Scotia with Mom, Tom, and Annie. Driving with 3 kids fighting and arguing in the back seat wasn't easy, especially when Cape Breton Island was a road of 3-side cliffs. But we did it. We all survived. Memories of us gathering as a family to watch Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom and how the wrestling went on. Wrestling with him on the couch while he flipped me around and my foot broke the coffee table. Playing catch with me as I prepared for Little League and never missing a game. He taught me many things, much of which were conveyed just by being around him, and learning by his example. Everywhere I've worked, we were always very impressed with my work ethic and how he said, "Get that from my dad." Couldn't have asked for a better father and mother. His raising children is the epitome of partnership. While I'm sure they had their fights, as every married couple does, I can honestly say I never witnessed them, as it should be. They did a wonderful job of insulating us and showing us their best and how it should be done. Dad, you'll always be loved and sorely missed. You weren't gone because you did God within each of us. And this is from my wife. I have many fond memories of Dad coming to visit me while Mom was busy doing her genealogy research. He'd bring Dunkin' Donuts over, and we'd sit at my dining room table and just talk about everything and everything. Dad was an excellent listener and always smiled. And of course, he'd be holding my small poodle Misty in his lap. And we all know we both hold small dogs. And dogs love to be held by him because they can sense a kind and gentle soul. Even though Dad wasn't a big hugger, I give him a hug whenever we can. Every time I eat rice, which is often since I have Korean, I think of his comment about how he won't eat rice because it reminds him of tomatoes. Then it brings a smile to my face. I do believe in angels, and I know that you're up there looking up for us. I will always miss you and carry on the memories of you always. I may not be here in person today, but know that my heart is with you. Thank you, Dad, for being with you. And a short one from my son who also being with you. Well, I don't have many memories of Grandpa since he and Grandma moved south when I was really young. What memories I do have are cherished memories. I do remember driving with my dad to your house in Stillwater Road in Deerfield and getting barked at by all the chihuahuas and you let me touch them. Like my mother said, I may not be here in person today, but I do know that my heart is with you both. Rest in peace, Grandpa.
until Joy started speaking. So, sorry. So like my dad is like a lot of other dads, he dropped bits of wisdom. Like, if you can't get it at Walmart, you don't need it. Money doesn't grow on trees. And, anyway, so, he was very, very frugal man. We lived on, South Pier, Burnham Road. And, he'd come home from work, first thing he would do was go to the thermostat and check the thermostat. Well, he just knew, and he would ask me, he said, anybody touch the thermostat? I'm like, not that I know of. And little did he know that we'll blame it on Tom because he's not here. But 15 minutes before he was due to get home from work, it would be adjusted back exactly how he had it. And he would even like put like a piece of paper on top of the thermostat, you know, and he had his little, you know, don't use too much toilet paper.
Turn off the lights before you leave.
Turn off the lights. Think about what you want out of the refrigerator before you open the door. Don't just stand there, you know, in, you know, the melting soap in the soap dish, you know, full of water. So I'm 14, I lied about my age to get a job. And my first few paychecks, I bought what I wanted, a stereo, albums, things like that. So it wasn't the first paycheck, but I figured, well, if I paid the light bill, then I could have a say in the temperature of the thermostat. So I got my paycheck, I think it was like $89, and I cashed it, gave him the envelope, and he was at the table, it was just me and him. And he's like, what's this for? And he said, do you want me to, you know, to put it in safekeeping for you? I said, no. I said, maybe pay the electric bill. And he looked at me like I had two heads, and he says, what? And I said, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe I have no clue what the electric bill cost. This was in the early 80s. And I said, well, okay, well, the water bill then. And he says, I don't want your money. He said, I don't need your money. And I said, well, and that blew up my whole plan, you know, because he wasn't thinking my thought process there. So I said, no, you have to take this money. And he's like, just buy it on what you need. And I'm like, okay, need. Okay, ding, ding, ding. So the next day, we lived on Burnham Road, and I walked to Stop and Shop, which is a nice little walk, but I walked a lot when I was a teenager. I would walk all the way down to downtown Greenfield all the time. And so I wasn't thinking, so I took up my most of it and spent it on stuff we needed, like big packs of family soap, you know, stuff in the bathroom, and I bought stuff for spaghetti. And walking back with bags and bags of groceries, it was so heavy. And of course, I didn't think at 14 I could call a taxi to bring me back to the house. So here I am with all these bags of groceries, having to stop every 10 feet, put the bags down. And so finally got home, cooked the spaghetti, and he had gotten home from work, and he sits down, he sees the spaghetti, and he said, he looks at the refrigerator, and he says, where did this meat come from? And because he's thinking, that's 2 meals right there, spaghetti and sauce, and then the hamburger for Ma's meatloaf he loves so much. And I said, Stop and Shop. And he's like, you got this? And I said, yeah. And he's like, very good. Like he was proud of me. But and then on Burnham Road still, I was in my first year of high school, and I bit an apple from one of your friends, and I got mono. I was out of school for a whole month, and I was so sick. I could barely lift my head up. So Mom was having to feed me, and she worked full time, and of course Dad worked full time. And they would, spoon feed me chicken broth, tea, and one night, I tried to make it to the restroom by myself, and I had passed out, ended up underneath the chair, under the kitchen table, and I woke up and couldn't figure out how to get out from there, so I'm laying there, help me, help me. So Dad comes and to my rescue. He's like, what the hell are you doing under the chair? And I said, I passed out. I had no idea how long I was down there. He scoops me up and puts me back in bed. And he's like, and I started crying. And he said, did you hit your head? Are you okay? And I said, I woke you up and you have to work tomorrow. I felt so bad because I interrupted his sleep. And he's like, oh, don't be silly. And he kissed me on the head. And he's like, just go to sleep. And that was, you know, always worrying about us and nurturing. And I am so thankful that we were close. We talked about and everything, so there's nothing left between us that was unsaid. He knew how much deeply I loved him and cared for him. And the same with my children. And my son was very close with Dad, and he would take him out for haircuts and lunch and everything, and that was their special time. But he would open up to Roger, because Roger was a very good listener, and I think he got that from Dad. But this is right before my son passed. He had sent Dad a letter. He put it in the mail, and he signed it really big because Dad couldn't see very well at the time. So this is his letter to Dad. To the strongest man I will ever know, I want you to know that you're not only my grandpa, but my father and best friend. Since I was 7, you have been there and would talk to me after my day from school. You showed me that I mattered, and I was loved, and I was enough. I figured life would be hard, but you and Grandma made it look easy. Maybe because you always had each other to lean on. I know you don't feel like you used to as you get older and rely on people. People makes you feel weak, and that's the furthest thing I ever want to see. A man that had nothing or no one to love him found a way to find love and raise 10 kids and helped raise some grandchildren. I always looked up to you and had someone to listen as I tried to figure out my own way through life. I don't know how you could handle the weight of the world crushing you down and lifting those around up, just wanting them to find happiness and to be healthy and safe. I never got the chance to give you this card last Father's Day. I love you and I appreciate you. Always know that no matter what,